so should be streaming now. It says I'm live. Let me get see if I can share this. Don't know why it's not doing that. If for some reason you are seeing this on YouTube, I would be surprised because that means I actually figured this out. I am working on trying to get... Okay, it looks like I'm live here. Open that. And then let's see if I can get this... Let's see, stream manager showing. Okay, so it looks like I'm live. Let me actually move this over here so you guys don't see it. Alright, so I am going to... Can I just get the stream key here? Alright. Just copy this. I don't know what that did. Okay. So I'm going to just hop on Facebook real quick. Let people know that I am going live. So please bear with me. I'm still very new to all of this. But we're going to have some fun today, hopefully. Again, if I get this set up on YouTube. Again, I'm still very new to this, and I'm still working on figuring how to actually set these up. Because I see a preview here, but I don't see an actual, like, thing that I can share. See clips. Yeah. So now we're going to put that on Discord as well. Let me see if I can actually get my... I don't need the creator dashboard, I need my account. Can I just... Hello to my one viewer, it seems that I have. 2 viewers, hello! Forgive me while I try to get this, set up. Trying to put this all on, like, Discord and stuff, but I don't remember how I did this last time. For anyone watching, how are you guys doing tonight? As I struggle with technology. Well, I don't know if that's actually going to work. So let's see. Just go back to my... Can I watch this? It's not gonna tell me who's... Okay, can anyone... If you're watching this, can you guys hear me? Also, I think the music is loud. Holy crap. There we go. This is just insane. I do not like streaming. I'm not good at this. Clip things, but I can't like, copy anything. Alright. So I'm just gonna wait another couple of seconds to let some people string in here. Good evening, everyone. If I can figure out how to get this uploaded to YouTube, I'll try to put in the description below when the actual, like, getting stuff sorted and started, get started, because, like I said, I am still very new to this and still trying to figure out how to, make everything go live and share, like, my channel and all that. Still working on it, still struggling. But how are you guys tonight? Sorry if I'm constantly looking over here. Just kind of still trying to figure things out. I'm a very fledgling Twitch streamer. This is why I stick to YouTube, because I don't need to worry about it. That's weird. Okay. So today I'm going to be building... Hello. Welcome in. Bring your friends. Today I've decided I'm gonna kind of dive into a card specifically that I've been really excited for in Attack on Titan Apocalypse. And I figured I would try to build a couple of decks around this card, with each one kind of playing the card a little bit differently. But let's see what we can do. I've got 4 of you in here so far, and no one has said nothing's working. I mean, no one's saying anything, but yeah, is everything working for you guys? I shall take your silence as the affirmative. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I can spell. So first off, I'm going to build William Anderson III. This is a character, this is one of the new championship characters that a lot of people have been making waves about. So he is a 7 hand size, 22 health character. He's got Death, Fire, and Life. He's got 2 enhance abilities, both once per turn. The first is add a ready foundation from your stage to your hand. Flip 1 rival foundation that has the same printed difficulty as the foundation you added to your hand this way. So this could be a really cool way to try to flip key defensive pieces that your rival has. Or if you have a face down foundation, you can flip 0 difficulty foundations, because a face down foundation has a printed difficulty of 0. But adding the ready foundation to your hand is a cost, so if they don't have anything that you can flip, you can still pick up a card from your stage, maybe an attack that's hiding down there, because of the once per turn, the second once per turn, sacrifice 2 face up foundations, build the top 2 cards of your deck face down. So you can sacrifice committed foundations to build in ready foundations, and if those foundations happen to be attacks, you can add them to your hand with your other first enhance. So it's kind of cool. Swan Sean, so much fun. Thanks again for your help building him. No problem, man. I really had a blast, and you actually put me on. Shoutouts to you. You're one of the reasons I'm doing this stream right now, because William Anderson has been a character I've wanted to build, but had no real idea of what to do. And I was talking to one of my locals, Dylan, who is Space Cabby on the Discords, if you see him, or if you see him on Twitch around here. We were talking about another character that the Rumbling, that's the card I'm working on, goes well with, and I thought William Anderson could be cool, because the Rumbling is a new ultra rare attack from Attack on Titan Apocalypse. It's got 11 difficulty, which is really rough. I mean, you check a 5, you're still committing 6 foundations, right? Well, the thing is, you can sacrifice 2 of those foundations with William and build 2 ready foundations in, effectively kind of giving this like a -2 difficulty. And if you sacrifice enormous axe or reinforcements, those also build in extra foundations. So you could build up to 4 foundations ready after sacrificing 2 committed foundations, effectively turning this into like a 7 diff. It's got stun 3, it's a 6 mid 10, and as a blitz, your rival either discards 3 cards or they may sacrifice all of their foundations. So unless they've got like 4 cards in their hand or a lot of really good damage reduction, they're taking 10. And my main issue was, how do you guarantee push that 10 through? And I think I've got 3 characters that can do it pretty well. So we're going to start with 4 rumbling in our dear William. Because like I said, with that second once per turn, if we sacrifice 2 face-ups, even if they're committed, we can build in 2 ready foundations. So thus kind of mitigating such a high difficulty card. And if we build it face down with William, we can just pick it right up. So we don't have to worry about that. So let's go, we're going to build him on Death, methinks. And he's what, Death, Fire, Life, I said? Death, Fire, Life. Okay. Death, Fire, Life. Let's do some attacking. So we want Rumbling, obviously. Blitz is good for speed. I think the main issue is William doesn't really give stats. Yeah, we're about to push the Rumbling to its absolute limits if you stick with me for the 3 builds I'm planning tonight. It's really fun. But the problem with William is he doesn't give any stats. So that's kind of what we want to do. How do we, if we can put our rival in this position to where they have either no hand or no stage thanks to our Rumbling, how do we maximize the abilities there? We want some other attacks that can do some damage. So something like a Lethal Rending. Sacrifice up to 3 foundations. This attack gets 2 damage for each foundation sacrificed this way. This can become a 5 mid 9 if we're just sacking a bunch of foundations, which is pretty good. So we can go ahead and add, let's do 2 for now, just to see what else we can come up with. We don't want anything too high like Mutual Destruction. Jaw Titan's Bite's kind of neat. But this is one that Swanshawn actually turned me onto for William. Warhammer Titan attacks. So not only is this a 4-check move, which means even if we check an attack, it's not going to hurt us too much, but after it resolves, we can sacrifice a foundation to build it transformed, and then we can just lose stamina on it to give more stats. Or, as a first form, we can sacrifice it if we have fewer foundations than our rival. We get to just free build the top 2 cards of our deck. It's really huge and a really great way to, if we like first form Warhammer, build 2, slam down a Rumbling, sacrifice a whole bunch of stuff, and then we can just lose 1 stamina on every consecutive attack to force a little bit more damage and speed through. Let's see, what did I put that at? 3? Yeah, 3, that's pretty good. Countering toss, we're not worried about throws. We are a 7 hand size, so we are kind of squishy. So we might kind of lean on Life's ability here to sustain us. Strategic Detonation is also cool. Again, we're lacking a lot of speed and damage. So I can see a world we can either Rumble our rival, or we can Strategic Detonation our rival. It's also a 4-check move, so maybe as like a 2 of or a 3 of, so that we can play it. All of our attacks get +2 speed and +2 damage for the rest of the turn, while all our other attacks, and then we string out with like a Lethal Rending, maybe a Warhammer Titan attacks, if we have enough foundations, because he is really good at basically just building in a bunch of ready foundations. 1 speed for every 3 attacks on our rival's stage. No. Unrelenting Advance could be kind of neat, but again, we'd have to put the pressure on our rival to block it. And if we're not throwing a lot of damage, our rival's not going to want to block us. Resurrected Titan's not great. Draw for each card in our card pool. Attack in our card pool. We don't want to play the 1 check, that'd be brutal. Unyielding Destruction is also really good. So I'm going to put a 3 of this here. Because Unyielding Destruction says both players go down to 4 foundations, if we sacrifice through this way one or more of our rebuild foundations, like reinforcements, like Enormous Axe, we can go up to 5 or 6 foundations and keep stringing through on our rival, which is really good. Pushing our rival down while we can then build more with William, we can build more with like Enormous Axe and all of that. We can really focus on this kind of self-destructive but also replenishing style, which could be really good for us. And we might actually take out the strategic detonation, just because it's another big unwieldy difficulty. But you never know, it could be useful. Your rival commits a foundation. If they cannot, they lose 2 health. That can be hilarious if your rival sacked all of their foundations and you're like, cool, here's just a free 2 health that you lose. That's kind of funny. I don't think we're going to do it here, but it's a possibility. What else could we do? Obviously cards like Sweeping Daggers are good, but again, we need damage. We need ways to put in damage. Each player may build the top card of their deck. This attack gets 1 speed and 1 damage for every 3 foundations in your rival's stage. So this could be another way for us to free build even more cards. It kind of goes against our rumbling strat though, because we want to clear all their cards. But then again, it could be fun, because if they choose not to clear all their foundations and they choose to lose their hand, the 3 cards in their hand, we can then get a bunch of stats on Inconvenient Duplication. This could be a fun 2 of. Again, we're looking for either Colossus SWAT's really good, building cards face down. However, we have to sacrifice face-up foundations, so that might not be the best for us. Am I lagging? Like, is there a lag between video and audio for you guys? Because my bitrate seems fine, but I'm noticing in the stream preview, it's a little bit behind me where I'm talking, so I don't know if that's just its latency or what's going on. Again, very new to streaming, so if anyone in the chat is streamer, I would appreciate any and all advice and help you might be able to give. Devour's cool. We can just gain 5 health if it hits. We can ruin stuff. We don't want to lose health. We could do Discipline Maneuver because we are going to be running a lot of 3 difficulty foundations, so we can just pump like 9 damage on this card. So that could be neat. Ravages of War. Gain 3 health by sacrificing a foundation. Less than the card's printed difficulty. Maybe. Let's see. What else can we do here? Stomp of the Female. That's another build around that I want to do some work on here in the not too distant future. I had a real fun idea with it with Overhaul, but then Ruin became a thing. And Ruin is scary when you're playing with Overhaul. Ooh! Titan's Wide Swinging Blow. This works really well for us because we can get damage equal to the number of our face down foundations. face down ready. So that's really strong actually for us. So let's see what we've got here. 22. Let's actually get rid of the strategic detonations. That puts us at 20 attacks. Lethal rending can boost its own damage. That can boost damage and speed a little bit. Boost its own speed and damage, boost its own damage. Okay, so we've got a few cards that boost their own damage. But the main thing we want to do is we want to rumble. We're looking to rumble with our rival, throw 10 damage at them, and say you're losing 3 cards out of your hand, or you're losing all of your foundations. And that could be really, really powerful, because then if they don't lose all their foundations, we do have that stun 3, which is useful. We got stun 1 on Warhammer Titan attacks. We have the inconvenient duplication, which can not only let our rival obviously build a few more foundations, but we also get to get more speed and damage because of the duplication. Discipline Maneuver, we're running a lot of high difficulty foundations, or we will be as soon as I put them in. And so it can get a lot of damage, and then since we're building a lot of face-down foundations, Attack Titan's Wide Swinging Blow can be a real haymaker of a card. So let's go into our non-foundations. I'm not going to look at backups, really, so let's go look at some attacks. Excuse you. Military airship could be hilarious. Just to pick up the rumbling and do it again. Let's throw 1 airship in. Just in case the rumbling doesn't work the first time. We're not really running a ranged package. Golden Death, interesting. Knott's Flask could give us some damage. Let's throw a Knott's Flask in there. There we go. Another cool thing about William is he's not once per turn your turn on any of these abilities. So you can sacrifice as many foundations as you, 1 foundation each turn, yours and your rivals, to just keep building a bigger and bigger stage. Let's look at actions. Resolute End, sacrifice foundation after your rival plays the ability on an action. Cancel it. Could be fun. We don't want to take on non-blocked attacks as a 7-hander. We want some Filled with Doubts. I love Replicator Enthusiast here, not only because it's a 0 mid-block, which is really good, but it also allows us to build in more copies of our big, like enormous axe and reinforcements, so that we can try to build in a big stage and sacrifice then those cards for William. And then our rival builds a card, or they can build a card, but if we're just nuking their stage anyway, it's really not going to matter. Throwing in a Decay Awaken just seems rude, so we won't do that. Yeah, I think that's fine. What's that put us looking? Puts us at a lot of mid blocks, I think. Okay, so we're really short on high blocks. So let's look into our foundation base. Abrupt Loss. We really love Abrupt Loss because that's +3 damage for sacrificing a foundation. Crossing enemy lines could be good. I like Devastating Loss just because it helps us deal with assets and backups that our rival might not, we might not be able to deal with anyway, because Rumbling only gets rid of foundations. So backups and assets still will hurt us. Crossing enemy lines, if you've sacrificed 2 or more foundations this turn, choose a player. That player's next check is +1 or -1. This is really good for us. So this is good because on face, we sacrifice 2 foundations. So to be able to get +1 to our check after playing a Rumbling, or -1 if our rival's trying to attack us, could be really useful. We could do some Outwit stuff. I'm not really excited about Outwit because we're building very randomly. Porco's Noble Goodbye could be fun to ready itself. Because we sacrifice 2, and then before we build in, we can ready this card. So maybe it's like a 2-of. I do like setting the stage because we can pick up our Rumblings. Soul Motivation is really good speed hate if we are lower foundation count than our rival. Tiber Family Influence, we're not going to worry about that. Willy Tiber, no. Command the Founder is kind of fun as like a cheeky one-of, because we can pick up our Rumbling as a form, just to make sure that we can have it for the next turn. Fury attack is -1 damage. Flip form, commit 1 foundation. We're not committing backups. We don't want to sacrifice too much. After your attack deals damage, add 1 backup from your discard pile to your hand. No. Committing foundations for +2 damage. Discard an attack, draw 2 cards. We're not dealing with backups. This is just good speed hate. I also don't want to run too many 4-check foundations. I see the Ocean. That's a 6-check, which could be really useful to us. If no characters took damage, gain a health. Maybe put that as a 2-of for now. Moment of Normalcy, obviously. We want to be able to protect ourselves. We are not a warrior. Also, Tenacious abilities could be useful to us. Dark Ward is good for anti-responses in the card pool. Tranquility of Death is really nice because we can seal our rivals' cards. So basically forcing them to either deal with our Rumbling by losing all their foundations. Basically, we can try to stop them from stopping us. Strong Wind-Up is good. How many printed 6 or greater? We have a couple. Not bad. Let's see. What else have we got here? Decompose. After your attack is blocked, your next attack gains Frenzy? No. Dupler Emissary could be good just as a 6-check, a blank 6-check. A blank 6-check with a high block ain't bad. So let's put some of those in. We're not going to worry about actually pulling off any Dupler combos. After discard or sacrifice, your attack is +2 speed. Could be fun. Obviously, we want pushing the limits and reinforcements. Risky Gamble, Greater Goal. We're going to be flipping, destroying a lot of face-up foundations. I don't think we're going to want to be just flipping our face-up foundations. Manipulations of Zeke Yeager? Nah. Defend the City is really good. After you block, you can build the card face up or face down. What else have we got here? After you play a card with a difficulty 8 or greater, draw a card. No. If you have sacrificed a foundation, get 1 damage. I'm With You is +2 or -2 damage. Loss of Consciousness is really good because we're sacrificing. We're kind of playing the whole Death Casino without the casino, because we're blowing these things up ourselves. So that's really what we're working on here. What have we got so far? Holy crap. We've got 80 cards. That's too many. Let me grab some last minute things that I know we're gonna need. And let's put this down, shall we? Where is... I'm looking. There we go. Enormous Axe. Hostile Introductions could be fun. But no, I know I want Demon Energy Manipulation and Botan's Coaching. Alright, so this is a whole heck of a lot. 91 cards. Let's trim this down. let's see. We can get rid of Command the Founder because it's just a fun, cheeky one of. We're mostly low and mid. We could probably get rid of the Smiling Deaths. Cut Enormous Energy to 2. I like Willy Tiber. We can probably get rid of the Porcos. Cut enemy lines down to like a 3 of. Cut this to a 1 of because you can always side the rest. Still puts us at 82. Holy crap. Okay, so we don't need the airship. That's fine. Honestly, we probably don't even need Knott's Flask. The fewer non-foundations we have, probably the better. Strong Windup gives us +3 to our checks for discipline maneuvers, War Titan, and the Rumbling. So I think as a 2 of it's fine. Tranquility and Death. Probably get rid of those. We can probably deal with those better. Probably get rid of By the Sea. We're still at 75 cards. Oh, I know a card I want. I know some cards I want. I want Syndicate targets. And as a 7-hander, we want Keiko's Aids. Okay. So now let's see. We are still so very much. I'll probably cut that to a 2. We need the high blocks though, don't we? We're a little better on high blocks now, so we can probably cut that down 1. Keep that. We'll see. Dark Ward is just really, really strong. Duplers are good. Enforcements is good. Probably cut that down to a 2 of. Cut that down to a 2 of. We'll cut the Replicator. Woof. Replicator Enthusiast to a 2 of. Cheap viewers on. Okay, I don't know what coincidental all of that is, so everybody just ignore that. I don't know how to get rid of it. Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of it, so just ignore that, guys. All 3 of you watching. Let's see. It's still 75. That's so much. I like that for damage. Use that on face, which is real good. Maybe cut that to a 1 of just to pick it up. Probably cut the demon energy manipulations completely. What's this put us at? This is at 72 cards. Still with 30 low blocks. Holy crap. If we bump this up and cut this down by 1, that manipulates our blocks a little bit. Although we can probably do have End the Cycle as speed hate, but we don't have any other speed hate. I am now seeing that this deck is very offensive and not very defensive. It is very much survive until you can rumble somebody and hope that you can win. So this might not be the best. This is definitely not the best way to play William. This is a fun way to play William, though. Let's get rid of the loss of consciousness. This is... Normalcy is really good. I know Dark Ward's really good, but for right now we can look at maybe siding it if needed be. Puts us at 68. That's a little bit better for a 7-hander. Obviously we'd want to cut it down more. But yeah, so William Anderson as a rumbling character, I think it's really funny because he can build so many free foundations that he kind of offsets having this really high difficulty attack. yeah. So, what do you guys think of William Anderson as a rumbling character? While I get set up for our next rumble. This one's a lot simpler. We're going to rumble with Smiling Titan, because this character is not fair. So Smiling Titan, for the uninitiated, you innocent souls, is a 6 hand size 31 health character, death and life, enhanced tenacious or playable while committed. Your attack gets plus X speed or plus X damage. X equals your attack's printed difficulty minus 4. And then response, once per turn, tenacious. After an attack deals 6 or more damage, ready this character. This character says rumbling. Is just plus 7 damage. So you're gonna lose your foundations, you're gonna lose 3 cards in your hand. I'm just gonna chuck you for 17. And that's not fair. That is really not fair. We're gonna build this one off of life with the death attuned. My first William list was on fire. Main goal was to play Colossus Thermal Blast with Welcome to Spaceland. Yeah, Welcome to Spaceland is a really hilarious card. I absolutely adore it, and that's another type of build-around card that I love. But anyone who follows me on YouTube and now Twitch knows I love unorthodox styles of gameplay. So, for Smiling, we want to run really high difficulty moves. So Rumbling is a must. In fact, we probably don't want to run anything lower than a 7, just because we can get that plus 3 damage. After you play this attack, your rival commits a face-up foundation. That could be good. We can see about that. Actually, yeah, let me just... difficulty greater than 6. What have we here? Resurrected Titans. I don't know how many shift cards we're playing. Humanity's Final Stand. We can give this plus 3 speed. Could be fun. Colossus Titan's Destructive Power is also really good, as shown by Phil Birch. Your rival sacrifices a foundation, commits a foundation, then flips a ready foundation. Just making this a 7 mid for 18 is gross, and you get a little bit of extra damage because of Bertholdt's Devotion. So this could be like a fun 3 of. Too Big to Contain is always good, because you can get rid of your rival's defensive pieces. Devour could be fun. I like Duplicitous, even if we're not playing a shift style. Ravages of War is still really good, I don't care what people say. We could put some Smiling Titan attacks in there, just so we can duplicate them. Or we're duplicitous them. And then, what else have we got? Not a whole heck of a lot. 21, that's a lot. Let's cut this down to 3. Let's just make this a 2 of. Because if we're focused on Rumbling, we might not need Colossus Titan's Destructive Power. And for my next trick, we're actually going to go into the Backups tab. Oops. Because we want... Oh, Willie Tiber could also be something you can play in William, because you can sacrifice it instead of your other cards. But 9 Titans throughout the ages. This is something that we're going to want to play not only for minus 4 damage defensively, but imagine our rival loses their entire hand to the Rumbling, and then we just first enhance double its damage. Here, just catch 27 damage. That's disgusting. And we can build this in with our Duplicitous Recollections. So, very powerful. And if our rival chooses to attack our 9 Titans, we can block it with Keg. Just be really cheeky. I don't think we need to worry about anything else. No. So just cheeky fun Keg. 9 Titans throughout the ages just to double our backups damage, or our rumblings damage is so dumb. Let's see, we're on life. We can just give -1 damage to all of our rivals' attacks. We have soups. Item box is just really good, but I think that's all we'll need. If we did a life build of William, you could use Ein to force your rival to discard cards. That's neat. What kind of actions we want to run? Filled with doubt, obviously. We could still do Replicator Enthusiast, but I don't think we'd need it here. Welcome to Spaceland. It's hilarious. Yeah. We're not going to worry about any of that. So we're going to go straight into our Foundation base. Where do we at stats-wise? Okay, we're not bad. So we're not focusing on sacrificing our own stuff, although Devastating Loss can still be really good to protect us from our rivals' big things. Willie Tiber can help us pick up the Rumbling, and here I think we can definitely deal with it better because it's after we take damage from an unblocked attack. And unlike William, where we probably wouldn't want to take too much of an attack, we can absolutely just tank with Smiling. Let's see. Run your hand back in any order. After your attack deals damage, add a backup from your discard pile to your hand. Neat, but I don't think it's necessary. End the cycle is just very good. Frantic Rescue could be good, because if we take damage from an unblocked attack, it's basically breaker on all of our rivals' moves. We're not losing health to gain anything. I see the Ocean could be nice, because if we play really good defense, we can... if either us or our rival play very good defense, we can gain a little bit of health back. This is a character where Tranquility of Death definitely could come into play. There's like a 3 of, maybe. Let's see. Because we're focusing on the life symbol now. That's a symbol I'm not too familiar with. Normally I'm an evil or an order player myself. Not doing a lot of sacrificing. Defend the city is just a good 6 check. Desperate Plea can help us build defensively, which is always nice. We're not gaining a lot of health for recuperation time shenanigans. We have a face down card in our card pool. No. Let's see. After your unblocked attack deals damage, your rival loses 3 health. We can just try to burn our rival down because they got rumbled. We're only playing the 2 cards with... we are playing Ravages of War. Okay, so maybe Display of Might is really good. And it's a 6 check. Eaten by Bearded's good, because we like Tenacious Speed Hate. What else we got here? Willing Recruit, sacrifice for -3 damage. Commit to play a backup or shift attack, it's +2. We're only playing the 1 shift attack, though. Seamold Rations, Uplifting Bonds, Emir's Regeneration. Let's see. Curious about Quirks is just fun draw. After you make a check is +2 if your character is committed. Maybe not. Face Shield. We're not doing clearing things. Breaking the Cuffs could be cool. Resting Up is really good speed hate because our abilities are tenacious, so we don't care. We can just block with everything. Keiko Zeta is really good. Fast Friendship is some good speed hate. Syndicate Target's just good defense. What else do we have here? Number 10 Pro Hero's good defense. Or not defense, it's just good stats. 65 cards. Alright, so let's see just a few more things, and then we can start trimming. Let's see, as I'm just briefly scanning through everything. Yeah, we like, where was it? I lost what I was thinking for. Keeping area safe, here we go. I like keeping area safe. So it puts us at 68. If we can cut maybe below blocks. Let's look at our block zones. We can trim a devastating loss. And we can trim a resting up. Puts us at 66 cards. That's not bad. Ooh, and it's so even. So yeah, that is going to be Smiling Titan as a rumbling character. Yeah, just throwing 17 damage at someone seems really rude. Especially if you can double it to like 27 damage with 9 Titans throughout the ages. That's just gross. But we have one more Rumble character tonight. And this is one that I'm really excited about. In fact, this is probably the Rumble character I'm going to build in real life. Can anyone guess who is going to get rumbled? Taking bets. Seeing if it's the stream preview is way far behind me. Might have to change the latency on that. Alright. I won't keep you in suspense. It's Karasu. This character also makes the rumbling quite unfair. So Karasu says, after you deal damage with an attack, any player with 6 or more foundations has to sacrifice 1 foundation. That's already pretty good. But mainly it's for this enhance. This attack is plus X damage. X equals the number of total foundations destroyed this turn. And of course sacrificing is destroying. Say you throw a rumbling at your rival. And basically your rival's always going to choose to lose their hand, because if they lose all their foundations, you're gaining all of that damage with Karasu. That's nuts. So I thought, and I was talking to my local Dylan about this, what if we built like a Titan-style Karasu deck? And just really, really leaned into hurting people. I don't think there's any attuned to evil stuff. So let's do some Titan stuff. Where is the Titan thing? Here we go. So we want the rumbling, obviously. We want Warhammer Titan attacks, because that's just really good. We want Unyielding Destruction, because being able to say, hey, we both have, say, 8 foundations, I'm going to put us back down to 4 each. That's plus 8 damage on every attack that you play. So Unyielding Destruction is good, Unrelenting Advance is good, because you can just force your rival to, you can just say, hey, I'm going to make sure that you're gonna lose a lot. And if this is blocked, I get to pick up another attack. If it's not blocked, you're probably just taking a whole lot of damage. And then we want... Oh, there is one card that's not Titan on here that I wanted to run. What is the card? Besiege. I can spell, I promise. So what's that make our card count look like? 21, really good. So this is all about, I'm going to throw some hurtin' bombs, nuking the field, and then playing some kind of hard to deal with attacks so that you're just going to eat a whole bunch of damage. This is going to be hilarious. It's either going to be really good or really bad. Only one way to find out. Are there any... we don't want to take a lot of damages. Soup can be fun. Yeah, we're not going to deal with any assets here. Actions. Can actions be useful for us? Resolute End. Filled with Doubt. Yes, because we can just seal stuff. I'm not entirely sure what else we would want to do here. Backup? I do know what backup we want. We want Willie Tiber. We want Willie on deck here. Because when sacrificing foundations to pay a cost, we may sacrifice Willie instead. But as a response, we can commit him after we sacrifice one or more foundations, and if our number of foundations is currently equal to or less than our rivals, we get to free build. If build's uncommitted, but it's still pretty good build. And we could do the 9 Titans throughout the ages thing, but I don't think it's going to be too worth it to us. But Sean Gilmore can help us from dealing with our lack of foundation base. So that could be cool. And now let's go into foundations. What are we looking at here? Alright, not bad. So abrupt loss is really good because we can get more damage because we've sacrificed foundations. Devastating loss can help us deal with assets. I'm not going to worry about Porco's Noble Goodbye. We don't want to... We are a 7-hand size, 20 health character. We're not going to want to play setting the stage. Soul Motivation could be good if we're getting outbuilt. Not going to do any of that. Openly Doubting, no. Moment of Normalcy, yes. We are not a warrior. And this is another one where Tranquility of Death comes in, because at the start of our combat phase, we can just point and click to our rival's best defensive pieces and say, those are turned off. And if we have multiple Tranquility of Death, if our rival doesn't seal the other Tranquility of Deaths, we just get to keep sealing a whole bunch of their stuff. Strong Windup is good, because we do want to use that with the Rumbling. We also have Warhammer Titan attacks just in case. But as a 2 of, not bad. Let's see. If this card is discarded or sacrificed, your attack is 2 speed. We're not worried about that. We could do some draw with pushing the limits. Reinforcements is obviously something we need. Because the thing is, we're not sacrificing really during the enhanced step, except for Unyielding Destruction. That's the only time we're sacrificing during the enhanced step. Otherwise, it's always outside of the enhanced step, so that we don't get a lot of use out of cards like Greater Goal, or things that say if they're destroyed during the enhanced step, they don't really help us that much. Manipulations of Zeke Yeager. This is one we will want, because look at all this Titan stuff. Except for Besiege. But a whole bunch of Titan stuff to try to mill a Rumbling and then pick it up. Always useful. Display of Might, we only have the 1/8 or greater. We love Tenacious Speed Hate. Again, a lot of this stuff that... Okay, Loss of Consciousness would probably benefit us more than like a Smiling Titan, because we can sacrifice it for like an unyielding destruction, we can sacrifice it for Karasu and turn off more of our rivals' good cards. So that could be really useful to us, as will Smiling Death. This is pretty much just going to be a shade of William the Conqueror. William Howard? The champ card that we played first. I apologize, William, for messing up your name. I'm terrible with names in the first place. Enormous Axe is a must. Weapons Clash could be useful. Demonic Energy Manipulation is a must, because we can blow it up, and then our next attack gets -1 difficulty. Settling Old Debts. Not Settling Old Debts. Invincibility. Maybe Botan's Coaching. We do like Keiko's Aid because we are defensive as heck. Or we want to be defensive as heck. Syndicate Target. What else do we have here? Oh, we would want to run some Always Schools. And I think that's all we're going to look at here. What are we looking at? Like 80 cards? Hey, 74, that's not bad. We're mostly mids and highs. So let's take a look. We do have a lot of highs here. Let's take one of these Tenacious Speed Hates. One of the Loss of Consciousness. Mids. We can cut a Smiling Death. I like the Tranquility of Death. We'll keep those. Maybe we'll put Sean Gilmore to 1. So that put us at there. 71. I'm sure we could do a little bit better than that, can't we? We can cut a Warhammer attacks by 1. Actually, let's cut the Warhammer Titan altogether. And just bump Unrelenting Advance to 4. And then we can take out one Manipulation. I'd also probably cut this to 2 since, like I said, we're not destroying a lot during the enhanced step. 68. That's a little better. Probably afford a few less high blocks. Didn't I cut Eaten by the Bearded to 2? I just swear I did. Soul Motivation. If we have less foundations than our rival, -4 speed. If we can... we're not building as much as like a William. Yeah, this is probably going to be fine. We can probably cut this to a 3 and then Enormous Axe to a 3. Just because we are very dependent on dealing damage unless we're hitting an Unyielding Destruction. So if we cut that down, 65 cards, that is great. That is Karasu, and in my opinion, probably one of the more dangerous Rumbling characters. Because if this guy clears out your rival's hand, all of your attacks are going to deal damage, which means foundations are going to get destroyed left and right, which means that damage pump that he gets on his enhance is just going to stack up. And when you're putting that on like a Haymaker or a Besiege, it's just going to get really ridiculous. I think this is going to be a really fun deck that I really want to build. And aside from 1 Unyielding Destruction and 3 Rumblings, I can probably do it. Actually, I don't think I have the Unrelenting Advances either, but that is just a matter of ordering on rochesterccg.com. Shameless plug. If you're in the US, rochesterccg.com for all your Universus singles needs. I'm not sponsored for, affiliated, or anything, but Sean's a good guy, and I've been buying with him for years. So, yeah, that has been a very rocky second stream where I go over some different ways to rumble. again, if you're watching this on YouTube and you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. Please like, comment, subscribe, both on Twitch and on YouTube. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. So, take care, everyone.